Hello, Mama Jess here, everything you wish your mother told you. I've been very busy making videos and uploading them onto YouTube. And every time I'm doing something around the house, I think, well, this is a skill that I want to teach, so I'll video this. And now I'm buried in a mountain of data. Every time I make a video, there's so many gigabytes that I have to manage. So it's becoming almost a full-time job to deal with storage. And I did not know that. And in the midst of all of these things I'm doing for practical video work and such, my heart is mostly focused on the young people who don't have the motivation to learn these skill sets because they don't care. Or they wish they could care, but they're too depressed and anxious and feel mentally ill and lazy and unmotivated. They have what I'm now seeing on a commercial is the procrastination mentality, where you have a broken nervous system and you can't function. And I have a lot of compassion for that state because that is how I used to be. After my husband died and all of the other things that I'll talk about more, I only wanted to curl up and watch Little House on the Prairie and escape everything of this world, what was inside of me, what was around. I couldn't take it. So when this illustration came to me today, dealing with the storage problem with the computer, when it gets so overloaded it can't function, I thought, that's what I felt like all those years ago. It's like I was a computer with all this unprocessed data that was bogging down the system. It was never acknowledged. It wasn't filed away. It wasn't put in consolidated folders. It most of the time got accidentally duplicated. It wasn't deleted. The trash wasn't emptied. So I was just packed with so much input from life, from all of my youth, from all of the abuses in life, all of the fears and the insecurities and loneliness, all of it, the disappointments with life, the disillusionment that it's not like a movie like I had thought. So I began to go about the skill set to learn how to grieve, to learn how to process all of the information that was inside of me. I would process it through crying. I would process it through talking, journaling, writing songs and singing, taking walks. So there was this massive offloading process happening where I was beginning to file it and having backup storage. And I began to free up space inside of myself, freeing up my mind and my heart and my energy and my speed, my capacity. I found that I was able to take on more of both the joy of life and the sorrow, the positive opportunities and the negative things. I realized that before I gained all these skills, these practical skills, both inside the house and outside of the house that we would call skills, before I was able to get to that, I had to deal with this soul, what it could be called like the hard drive of your computer. I had to develop the skill of offloading, which I will call grieving. I will call reflecting, feeling, talking things out, getting it out of me, outside of this shell that I was in. And then I began to be able to see it and consolidate and organize. So my desire for you today, for those who you're exhausted, you don't have any more capacity, you've completely slowed down to a stuck stop, and your computer system is saying storage full, no more, you can't take on anymore. You might call it anxiety, depression, mentally ill. Either way, you're overloaded. And I know the remedy in my life was to offload. So my encouragement is to get the journal out and begin to create kind of a file system, a folder system of where you can put these files. It might be my narcissistic father who gaslights me all the time. It could be my vain, self-centered mother who works out all day and never acknowledges us kids. It could be an abuse that you suffered that you don't want to tell anybody about. It could be a loneliness of not having a lot of friends. It could be an insecurity that you're scared to talk to people, or you don't know how to interact socially because of all this computer stuff. You've never had a chance to practice the awkwardness of real communication. So whatever the fears are, or regrets in your past, things you've done that you regret and it just buries you and it crushes your heart, and you know you need help and forgiveness. If you could categorize all those in bigger folders and then allow every image, every JPEG image and every big movie file of like kind of going through your mind, writing text that's in your head, file it in each of these categories. And in that process, as you're able to look at it and think about it and then eventually feel it, maybe you're going to feel sad, angry, confused, grieved, disappointed, disillusioned. Those feelings are also offloading. So between journaling and feeling your feelings and eventually talking to someone about it is a way to offload this extra data in you that's bogging down your system. For those who believe in God, pray to God and talk to God. Say, I can't carry this burden. I need you to carry it. I need you to be the backup for me and help me process all this. And then help me delete and help me empty the trash so that it all can be wiped away clean and I don't have to remember these things. File away the things you want to remember. But the rest, a lot of it can go. So this is probably the most important skill set, but it's not one that is really visible through making sourdough bread. It's through constantly processing the input and offloading, getting that output to clear out space so that you now have an increased capacity. You can receive the joys of life, opportunities of life, and the sorrow of life. But you know how to process it. Just like every time I'm dealing with all this video stuff, I have to deal with it every day. And that's the same with your soul. Every day there's going to be input that you have to process, whether good or bad, joyful or sorrowful. This skill set is the most crucial, I realize, in my life in order to develop the skill sets that I now have. So even if you can't get to these skills that I'm showing on the videos, I want you to begin to focus on making like a computer and offloading all of this backed up data to make space in your life for all of the skill sets that you would love to do. That helped me to see it this way, and I hope that it helps you too. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk soon.